10:30. I'm doing good. Okay, first off, apologize. I did mean to post a vlog yesterday, but I didn't. I actually did do one Saturday to post yesterday, and I completely forgot to upload it. So I am super sorry about that. I am really sorry about that. But partially, I'm glad I didn't post the vlog yesterday because it started off really sad and depressing because I got some bad news about my grandma whose health isn't doing so good. So, seemed kind of a bum way to start Super Bowl Sunday, right? Yes, yesterday was Super Bowl Sunday. Oh my gosh, it was the best Super Bowl Sunday of my life. It started Saturday night because I watched the Dog Bowl, which was super cute and awesome. And then Sunday we skipped church because it snowed pretty much all day Saturday. And till about 7 o'clock yesterday, it did nothing but snow. So, ta-da! If it stays this cold, I will have snow for my birthday. And the best part is apparently we're supposed to get 3 more snowmakers in the state. So, probably might have a lot of snow for my birthday, which is this week. So, we stayed home from church yesterday because my mom came home Saturday and said, we're not going to church tomorrow because the roads were horrible when she came home yesterday from work. So we stayed home from church, which is fine with me because I slept in a little bit later. Got up, got dressed, 12 o'clock noon, turned on Hallmark Channel because Hallmark had the Kitten Bowl. It was really different. You know, I'm so used to watching the Puppy Bowl. This year was the first year I actually sat down and watched the Kitten Bowl, and it was like, the Puppy Bowl is all really fun and cute and stuff like that. And the Kitten Bowl, they try so hard to make it like an actual sporting event. And then they have like 4 teams, and each team does a quick game. And then the 2 teams that win win the first 2 games, they're the ones that play for the championship. And then they also have like a kitty concession stand and a souvenir stand and a parking lot and then 2 penthouses and live adoptions. So literally, it wasn't live because this was pre-taped because they kept saying good evening, and I'm like, it's noon. So they filmed this, and in the middle of filming at one point, right near the end of it, one of the kittens got adopted. So that kitten left and got taken out of the game. And I'm like, that's different. So it was totally weird. But it was cute. And then that got over at 3 o'clock. And at 3 o'clock, I switched to Animal Planet because Animal Planet was doing Puppy Bowl 14, which I thought was 15. But it didn't matter because it was so cute and adorable, and I loved it. So I watched Puppy Bowl, and that got over at about 5:10. And after Puppy Bowl, they showed a preview for the new Irwin TV show. I hope you guys remember Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter. Well, his family has a new reality show that's going to be airing this fall on Animal Planet about them now at the Australia Zoo. And then I watched a preview for another reality show called The Zoo, which is all about the Brooklyn Zoo. And it was really cute because they had a snow leopard, and the poor snow leopard had swimmer's legs. So they had to give her some physical therapy. It was cute. And they had bats, and it was awesome. So I spent my day watching Animal Planet. And what I'm forgetting to mention is pretty much the entire day I am playing The Sims 3. So I am playing The Sims 3, and it is like totally yay! And then I switched to the Super Bowl. We had pizza and chocolate chip cookie bars. So that was an awesome day. So we had pizza. So I switched to the Super Bowl, and I'm watching the Super Bowl, and in my head I'm going, please, please, Eagles, please win, please win. I am cheering so hard for the Eagles to win. And they had Leslie Odom Jr. I don't know his name. The guy who originally played Aaron Burr in Hamilton came out with a choir of kids to sing America the Beautiful, which is nice. It was pretty. And then they had the color guard, honor guard come out, and then they had Pink came out to sing the national anthem. I did not know who was singing the national anthem. I saw it was Pink, and I'm like, oh, dear Lord, she has the flu. I don't know how many of you know that, but Pink was battling the flu right before the Super Bowl, and apparently she was still sick. Doesn't matter. You could only really tell at the end when she was trying desperately to hit those high notes, but it still sounded really cool and amazing. And they had the giant flag, and my mom is in the living room. I have my door open at this point. I'm watching, she goes, didn't they just do that? And she thought they were saying, I'm like, no, Mom. I'm like, I thought she was asking her to sing more. She goes, it's Pink. I'm like, it's Pink. My brother's like, that's not what she asked. She's asking if they just sing that. I went, I muted it. I said, oh, no, they sing America the Beautiful first. Because apparently at the Super Bowl, you have to at least sing 2 patriotic anthems. Okay, I understand football being America's pastime, but I think at this point it's kind of getting overdone with the patriot. I am patriotic, but at this point it's kind of getting overdone. I read an article when the whole the anthem protest started, on which a writer pointed out that it's kind of silly to have the national anthem sometimes at games because people aren't really respecting the national anthem. You have the people in the stands who are standing and singing along, but people also use the national anthem as a time to go use the restrooms, to go get souvenirs, to go buy snacks, because there's no line. So sometimes I think it's just overkill. I think if Super Bowl should be like every other football game, you just have the national anthem. My dad's here. And I'm back for a few minutes. My dad was here. My mom's van wouldn't start this morning, so she was going to walk to work. Luckily, she got a ride, because I was up, that's why I'm up so early and so bushy-tailed. Because I woke up at 7:30 when my mom came back in, slamming the door because her van wouldn't start. So my dad's checking the van now. That's why he's here. But, back to Patriot. I'm thinking at the Super Bowl, just do the national anthem. We don't need another, like, patriotic song. Just do the national anthem. Everybody will be good with that, okay? But it was an awesome game. I loved it. I was so happy when the Eagles were winning. I'm so glad they never let the Patriots get ahead of them. I'm sorry. I don't care. I'm sorry if you're a Patriots fan. I don't like the New England's Patriots. I don't like them. I feel like ever since they just keep winning Super Bowls and winning Super Bowls and winning and winning and winning. And I'm so sick and tired of it because I feel like it's like, why are they seemingly being one of the handful of teams that can go to the Super Bowl and win? It's really not fair to some of these teams. Like the Eagles. The Eagles have never actually won a Super Bowl. They won the championship game before the Super Bowl, but they have never actually won a Super Bowl. The Detroit Lions have never even made it to a Super Bowl. Some of these teams have never made it to a game like this. And instead, it's the same teams over and over again that get to go to the Super Bowl. And of those teams, the same teams over and over again keep winning. And it's not fair. So I don't know if there's a conspiracy or what, but I really feel like there's an effort to set out certain teams. So I was thrilled when the Patriots lost and the Eagles won. And one of the reasons I'm thrilled is Matt Patricia, one of the coaches from the Eagles, is actually right now about 90% sure going to be the new head coach here in Detroit for the Lions. So that means the Lions will have a Super Bowl winning coach, an amazing coach, who, according to a poll, because we might have him, now the Lions have a 72% chance of winning the Super Bowl next season. That's what the fans are saying. So I am hoping beyond all hope, I always hope, that my Lions go all the way and win a Super Bowl, because that would be awesome. I think my dad's back. Okay, so Dad checked my mom's bad. Bad news is she needs a new starter. Good news is it could be worse. So Super Bowl is awesome. I was talking to my dad. A lot of people who had charter, including me, we did get frustrated because charter NBC went out on charter. So I missed, like, I want to say about 6-10 minutes of the second quarter for the Super Bowl. And then during the halftime show, which I talked about, I was so excited about because I do like Justin Timberlake. He was one of my favorite singers when I was really heavy into secular music, and I still like him. And so I was really, really excited about him performing, and then during like the first half of the halftime show, stupid NBC on charter kept going in and out, in and out, in and out, flickering, no sound, stuttering, making. So I enjoyed the halftime show, the parts of the halftime show that I was able to watch, which was literally pretty much the last 4 minutes. And I would have enjoyed all of it if stupid charter hadn't been acting up. So, but it was awesome. I liked the game. I loved, oh my gosh, the Eagles were amazing. So I was so happy they won. The halftime show was pretty cool too. I can understand why people are sitting there saying they didn't like Justin Timberlake's halftime show. They thought he phoned it in. They're calling him Dad Pop. They said it was really lazy and unenergetic. I understand why they may not like it. When people think of Super Bowl halftime shows, especially in this part, especially my generation, we think about the over-the-top shows, the ones that are like, there are like 5 different bands, 10 different singers, like hundreds of performers out on the field. That's what we think about when we think about Super Bowl shows. Over-the-top, extreme, water cooler talk the next morning halftime shows. I get it. That's what you expect from the Super Bowl because it is a big game. But for me, I never like those over-the-top shows. I just don't. And so I was really happy with Justin Timberlake's performance. I liked Lady Gaga's performance last year for the same reason. Lady Gaga's was a bit more theatrical and a little bit more over the top. But for Lady Gaga, it was also very kind of stripped back and simple, which I like. I like the Super Bowl performances where they're very simple. They're very kind of stripped down for a Super Bowl performance. There aren't like 15 singers. There aren't like these massive special effects or anything like that. It's just the one performer with the dancers, with the backup, and it's all very simple for a halftime show. And I enjoyed it. So I liked what I saw of last night's halftime show. I liked his tribute to Prince. I really did. So that was really cute, really sweet. I liked his tribute to Prince. So I liked the performance. I know some people probably didn't. I already know people didn't, but hey, it was nice. It was sweet. It was very lovely, and like I said, the game was awesome. I was like so nervous toward the end that I kept turning off my cable box and turning it back on because I did not want to see the Eagles lose. So I'm really happy they didn't lose. Especially now since Matt Patricia might be our coach. As my dad pointed out, it's not just the coach. We need players. I know Detroit needs players. The thing is that Detroit never seems to really be in a good spot in the draft to pick players. And then they go out to search for players, free agents, and stuff like that. And then you have these players who they just don't want to play for Detroit, it seems like. Come on, guys. Detroit is amazing. You can come to Detroit and make a big name for yourself that you might have trouble making for other teams. Look at Miguel Cabrera. Look at Justin Verlander. Look at some of these players who have played for the Tigers. When they played in Detroit, they were really big names. They were huge. But they go off to other teams, and suddenly they're not these big names anymore. Suddenly they're struggling, or they come from these other teams where they were struggling. They get to Detroit, and they actually do good. So I really think if more really good players, sports players, looked at Detroit and saw that they had this great opportunity to come here, even if it's just for 1 or 2 seasons, they could really make a big difference. So I really wish players would see that. So Super Bowl was awesome. It was exciting. I did watch like the first 15 minutes of This Is Us. I've never seen a This Is Us episode in my life. I saw the trailer for the first season. I just couldn't understand it. I read about it and like, this is a really weird show. And then all of a sudden I heard about people freaking out about finally figuring out how the dad died and all that stuff. So I'm like, okay, might be interesting. So I heard fire and I'm like, I might as well watch it. I saw a preview and it's like the great thing that will change everything. So I watched like the first 10-15 minutes of This Is Us last night after the Super Bowl. And I watched it, and the guy was running back. I'm like, oh, he's going to die because he went back in to get his daughter's dog, and he's just going to die in the flames. And then he comes back out. I'm like, really? How the heck does he die then? Because I know he died on a Super Bowl Sunday because I've read about the show and stuff. So I'm like, how does he die then? So I didn't watch it. I decided to go to bed, and then I read the news. It's like, oh, spoiler alert, he died from cardiac arrest due to smoke inhalation. I'm like, really? Oh my gosh. So I'm like, yeah, no. But apparently everybody's freaking out about the ending of that episode for some reason because apparently it jumped forward in time. So I'm like, yeah. No thanks. I'll stick to Shadowhunters, When Calls the Heart, The Good Witch, and Rebels. Can you guys believe it? Speaking of Star Wars, let's change the subject. We are 2 weeks away from the first 2 final episodes of the second half of the season for Star Wars Rebels. Look at this. Today's the 5th. We have the 12th, and then it's the 19th. So we are like 2 weeks away. I'm getting pumped. I'm getting so excited. Everybody's going crazy. Will we see Ahsoka? What form will Ahsoka take? Is Kanan going to die? Is Ezra going to die? Who's going to die from the Ghost Crew? Is anyone going to live? What's going to happen? So everybody is pumped. What role does Palpatine play? What's going on? So it's exciting. It's insane. I did read a really interesting article about why Palpatine would appear. And it's this article that points out that Palpatine was actually several times looking for replacements for Vader in case something happens. And I kind of had an idea that Palpatine was not exactly after grooming Anakin, turning him into Darth Vader, and going, oh, this isn't what I wanted. I kind of already had that reaction because I've read Lords of the Sith by Paul S. Kemp, and it's all about, it has Cham Sadula in it, actually. And what happens is the Emperor and Vader get stuck, crash on the planet Ryloth, and several times the Emperor goes after Vader for being too compassionate and caring towards the people. So it's like, so I kind of already had this idea that Palpatine was like not too happy with Vader. I mean, come on, if you watch the prequels, it's kind of a given. Vader's trying really hard to get Luke to come with them, and in The Empire Strikes Back, he's basically, come join me and we can take down the Emperor. I'm like, but then learning about the Sith Riddle too, that made so much more sense to me. But it seems like there was always, after a certain point, I think after what happened, Mustafar, Palpatine was like, this isn't worth the effort, but I don't have anybody else. So that's really interesting. So this article is stating that Palpatine is going after Ezra as a replacement for Vader. So, who knows? I don't know. I'm excited. I can't wait to see what it is. And speaking of Star Wars, see, another segue, see? Last night, during like the first big commercial break, my favorite Super Bowl ad, because I was a Star Wars fan, was the Han Solo teaser TV spot. That's right. Like in the first, not even the first half hour of the game, like the first 20 minutes of the game, they did an ad break, and one of the first commercials of the Super Bowl was the TV spot for Solo, A Star Wars Story. I did not even realize what it was at first. I thought, oh, maybe the 501st put out a TV ad or something because they're doing a lot of stuff. Because you see a guy and he's sitting, he's talking to another guy in a suit, and I'm looking, I just see, oh, like they're stormtroopers. It never occurred to me it was a Star Wars, it was a TV spot for Solo, because I'm like just looking at him, like I didn't really see any aliens, I didn't really see anything that screamed Star Wars to me. It was so dark and gritty. I'm like, maybe it's an advertisement for a movie company or something like that. And then it kept going. I'm like, no, oh my gosh, this is the spot. Oh my gosh, this is a TV spot for Solo. So I got super excited. I watched it again before I went to bed. So I was like, oh my gosh, if the Eagles lose, I will be devastated. But I will still be happy because they released a TV spot for Solo called The Big Game. So it was awesome. 45 seconds. I didn't film my reaction to it because I didn't know when it was going to be. All I knew was the rumor that they were going to do the Star Wars, that they were going to be a trailer, and then I read an article where a guy said, yep, it's going to happen. The guy who plays said, yep, it's going to happen. 45 seconds of Star Wars deliciousness, and then it happened, and I was like, I didn't even realize it at first, and then I was like, oh my gosh, and you saw, like, Lando, and it was so cool, and then I was online, and somebody had posted on Twitter, we have Twi'leks, and I'm like, it's a Star Wars movie. That's a given, so it was awesome. And then this morning they posted the teaser trailer for Solo, which I will be doing a reaction to. So look out for that. That will be posted today, and then this will be posted tomorrow. So the reaction today, Monday, this tomorrow. So that was really exciting and cool. And actually, I watched the Bingham Super Bowl vlog this morning, and they said, tell us your favorite ad, and I actually said, well, as a Star Wars fan, it was the Solo trailer, because seriously, what else am I going to say? I really don't care for Super Bowl ads. You know, I stopped liking Super Bowl ads after I did a commercial about minority representation in advertisements. I'm not kidding. That's actually a legitimate college term paper I wrote for, I think, my sociology class, one of my first years in college, because we had to write about something, and for some odd reason, I chose to look at the representation of minorities in commercial advertisement, and I focused, and I was looking, and most of my paper, I was amazed, actually, because this is like the early 2000s, like early mid-2000s when I'm writing this paper. And one of the earliest ads I find that feature a minority is this ad for an alcoholic drink, and it featured African Americans at a party. I thought that was really interesting. And then that was the earliest TV ad I ever found. And then another early ad I found was actually a commercial for military members warning them about the dangers of STDs. And again, it featured African Americans. And I went, that's not right. So I actually wrote this very detailed paper where I admitted that I never thought about it before, and then I was actually shocked at how few representations of the commercials I found where there were actually minorities. And then the ones I did find seemed to be very geared toward African Americans with a hip hop, gospel, or some sort of variation on that, rap, something like that theme to their ads. And then I found very few other minorities in ads. I found very few Hispanics. I found very few Asians. I found very few other minorities. So that was actually a college paper I wrote. So that's why I kind of am not a big fan of advertisements or Super Bowl ads. There are some ads I like, but most of the time I don't really enjoy ads because I ended up watching, I want to say maybe almost 12 hours of commercials on YouTube trying to find ads. So it was horrible. So I was actually one of the first times I actually sat down and watched BET because that was really the only place I was finding some of these ads. I'm like, it's insane. So that's why I don't really like Super Bowl ads, because of writing that college term paper. I think it ended up being like 4 pages. And on top of that, I had to list every single ad I used in my paper. And I had like, I want to say 50 of them. And that was from the 12 hours. So that was insane. That was one of the college term papers I write. That's not even the worst one. In high school, I actually wrote a term paper which my teacher didn't like, because I was actually defending, we had to write a college level term paper for a high school English class, and we had to pick a controversial topic. Well, I've always been a big supporter of the Palestinians, and which is weird because you see, I'm a Christian. Most Christians don't support them. Some don't. I do. I'm a very big supporter of the Palestinians and their right to their own state. And so I wrote this paper defending Palestine, the right of the Palestinians to have a state of their own country, Palestine, defending this right, even going back and using the Bible and stuff like that. And I also cited how the Palestinians are a very welcoming people. They're very warm. Traditionally, they are very hospitable. They are very open and welcoming. And I used all these really great examples. I even emailed a woman who wrote an article saying, I'm using your article in this paper and it's helping me a lot. And my teacher gave me a C because the material was too controversial. And I'm like, you wanted me to write a college level term paper? Here you go. So I've been writing term papers since I was a freshman in high school, because the school I went to, Herbert Henry Dow High School, is this very, very tough academic school. And I failed 2 marking periods in my 9th grade year, and they made very sure that I went from the bottom to the top of my class. So it was a very tough school academically, because you were pushing yourself. So it was fun. And it was a public school too. So, oh my gosh. And I forgot what I was talking about. I was talking about solo, and now I don't know. So, but I'm going to do that trailer today and relax and chill. I have laundry in the dryer that I got to go down and get soon. So I'll probably look for the reaction trailer. Well, I'm not. Why should I tell you to look for the reaction trailer? Because you guys will be watching this tomorrow. You'll know. So, hey. But, and then after the trailer, I've got some stuff to do. I told you guys about applying to Surrey Hills and getting unofficially the job. I'm scared because now I'm thinking, since she hasn't got a hold of any of my contacts, any of my references, I think she's gotten a hold of 2, that she's just going to go ahead and hire a bunch of other people. So I'm going to send her an email apologizing, but letting her know that that I have a date when I can officially come up to the island. I can be on the island April 2nd, which is the day after Easter. So if she wants me up there, I will be up there April 2nd. Barring the ferries running, but I will be up there in April. I can for sure start in April. If she wants me to, I could be up there in March if she wants. So I'm going to send her that email today, and even though I really don't want to, I'm going to send my resume to this other woman, just because I'm doing my best just to get up to the island for the summer. I sent my resume to a woman who's looking for housekeepers for this condominium that's way out on the island. And I sent her my resume. Apparently not all of my resume went through, so I have to resend it to her. But I'm hoping by telling this one woman, hey, I know you probably haven't contacted all my references yet, but I do have a date when I can come up. I can officially come up anytime starting April 2nd. But I don't know. So I don't want this housekeeping job. I really, really want a retail job, because I don't want to be back working in the hospitality industry. I did not like it. But if this is what it takes to give me my Mackinac Island summer, that's what it takes. So But it is going to be fun because there are so many movies coming out this summer I want to go see. And it's going to be really interesting because I'll be on the, if I get this job, I'll be on the island. So that means taking an entire day off to go to the mainland, to go to the movie theater, which thankfully is only like a 7-minute walk away from the Starline docks. Go watch the movie and then head back to the island. I'm really excited because not only did they release a Solo teaser last night, but they also released, Pureflix released their teaser trailer for the new God's Not Dead movie. Okay, yell at me if you want, but I really like the God's Not Dead movie. I have both of them. And God's Not Dead 2 ends in a cliffhanger with the pastor getting arrested because he wouldn't turn in his sermon notes, which I didn't even know about this till I watched God's Not Dead. That's actually based on a real thing. After some members of the LGBTQ community complained, I think in like Texas or someplace, against against pastors preaching against them, they demanded that they went to the city, and the city said, okay, pastors, you have to turn over your sermon notes to see what's going on, and they refused. So they used that as a plot device in God's Not Dead 2, and this one pastor refused to turn his sermon notes in, and at the end he was arrested. So this new one is called God's Not Dead, A Light in the Darkness, and it's basically how this pastor actually has a church on this university campus or something, and it's his dad's church, and now all of a sudden they're under attack for what they believe in, and suddenly he's feeling really lost and hopeless because all of a sudden it seems like there's no room for Christianity in this world anymore. And sometimes that's what I feel like. I feel like sometimes that there are times when faith and my faith, or any faith really, it kind of feels like we're just getting shoved out of the way because everybody's like, you have to go with these modern ideas, you have to accept these concepts, and it's like, but can't I still practice my faith? It's like, no. So I'm really excited. I can't wait to see God's Not Dead, A Light in the Darkness. So I'm excited. I'm excited for Solo. Isn't that weird? They're two movies at opposite ends of the spectrum, but I can't wait for both of them to come out. So I'm excited. So wish me luck with the job hunt. Go check out the Solo stuff. Hopefully this means in the next coming weeks we will be getting a full trailer. I'm excited because with the Eagles winning, not one but two trailers for Solo being released. The Olympics apparently start Thursday night at 8. It's going to be a great week because guess what? This is my birthday week. What a way to kick off my birthday week. Last night, Eagles win the Super Bowl. Solo TV spot release. Today, Solo teaser trailer release. Thursday, apparently, Olympics start at 8. So this is a great week for me. I'm just going to keep positive, and it'll be even greater if I get the news I got this Balsam Hills job. It'll be really great to know that I'm actually going up to the island. It'll be awesome. Speaking of the island, before I go, I have to say, my mom made me laugh the other night. I washed my hair on Saturday, and I had my hair down, and I decided just to leave it down, and my mom recently hasn't really seen me with my hair just down because I keep pulling it back and stuff like that, because once it reaches a certain point, I just pull it back. But I left it down Sunday because I decided it stays cleaner longer if I don't pull it back when it's wet. And so I was out in the living room talking to my mom. My mom's sitting down, she looks over at me and goes, your hair's gotten really long. So my hair's gotten long and my mom's noticing, so she didn't realize, she had totally forgotten. I'm like, she said your hair grows. So I'm like, Mom, I got my hair cut in March last year, and it was already long enough by July that I was pulling it back. So my hair actually grows fast. It just takes a while to reach the length. So, okay, that's enough. I'm going to get going. I got to clean up my laundry out, I think. I'm not sure. So I'm going to get going. You guys stay safe, stay sane. Go Eagles! Yay, they won the Super Bowl. If you're playing hooky today from work, I hope you had a really, really, really good excuse for your boss. And so stay safe, stay sane. I'm sending you all lots of love, hugs, and prayers. Don't go too crazy, Eagles fans. Remember, we still need the city of Philadelphia to be standing by the end of this week. I'm going to get going, so have fun, you guys. Yay, Eagles. May the force be with you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.